Yaki Khubor ka Batesi TV
ka umdi basnyambak penjaslian Rupa Premium Meghalaya.
Hagat wetri unai lur arajar postan kalaran gejinge kendo lang Nongthoh Khubor hagan ga jilla ye kablatip kum ka second media meet arajar posan penyekernya thir ye babon ki man ki bagi Nongthoh Khubor ki habantre nakabenta ki emlang ka salang bat hagan ga jinga thir ya tai lawan banyashim benta lang de Nongthoh Khubor ki bana keleng kri India kumjuru laidon lang ki ru shampang ki pau khamat hakri India Hadim lakut ki kinta ye thir ya tai ladan se ka jinga lang balingkot hagaba umenti rangba ka jilau Conrad ki sangma luwan banlong kumukangsan Kementeri Beit Yakatranat Pathai Nik Information and Public Relations ke Dr. Mizil Ampering Lingdo kum kesembut kongsan baru Chief Secretary ke Jelau ba DP Walang kum kongsan Kerpang Hagan ga jinga lang umid rang ba lapen kup buram bagi Nongthoh Khubor ki bla yaw bat ki bla I bha haga kam bat hagan ga jing pen kup buram ula ai ki mar shilak tingka bat ula samru ke jing raw ka ba shipho hajar shibanai shigi Nongthoh Khubor ki bla kham no kamen Habakaran hagan ga jinga lang umid rang ba ulo ong baka sarkar kenang penjanai shu nang ni shakman ye ga rukam trekam khamtam ki la jinga rab shigi Nongthoh Khubor ka ba kinthop ye ga bai bam temen jongki Halo ka diga jingarap ka baka sarkar ka laay umindirang ba ulo ong batang baka sarkar ka ay kamut pad yaki Nongthoh Khubor bikin tho pinjam no yau yaki Khubor hendri ulo ong bakim de bendan jins ngaw yakata hendri ya ka bade ben tho ki ben tho bed wala ka de uru ki ben kirwet ni Kawang bed dan klam salia bat uru ong bu dan jins ngaw bat syaru ki bru jang bikin dom yaki Nongthoh Khubor
The second media meet being organized by the department and I'm very glad to be part of this function this evening. It gives me immense pleasure to be here today among those who carry the vital responsibility of shaping public consciousness. Our theme today, From Print to Pixel, is very interesting because I remember right from the time we grew up how we have seen this transition from print to pixel with the advent of technology, with the advent of so many steps that we have seen in the last 30 to 40 years. In fact, everything that has happened this period of transition captures the essence of an evolving era where journalism continues to reinvent itself. There are three to four things that I would like to share with all of you very quickly before we can hear what the honorable guests have to say. First and foremost, when we talk about the media, I think so the most important thing is trust. Trust remains the most precious currency of journalism. And if people lose trust and they don't read what you write, then the whole process of journalism is defeated. Whether in print or digital platforms, the credibility of news determines its reach and influence. In this current age, where misinformation can spread faster than facts, the responsibility of media houses is to strengthen editorial integrity. Building trust requires vigilance, it requires transparency, and the courage to hold power accountable without compromise. The second point is the importance of technology as per the theme of this meet. Technology offers speed, it offers scale and accessibility like never before. It democratizes news. Artificial intelligence, data analytics, and digital platforms have transformed how news is produced and consumed. Yet, technology must remain an instrument, not the master. The enduring purpose of journalism, truth-telling, and public service should never be overshadowed by algorithms or click-driven incentives. We have seen the power of artificial intelligence. We have seen how AI can play around in the digital platforms. And most of the time, for those who are not very social media expert, or those who are not very comfortable, in fact, AI can lead to a lot of misinformation. Therefore, technology, yes, it can be used as an instrument, but be careful. Don't allow it to be the master. You have to be vigilant, you have to be careful, and you have to be alert. Audiences are also no longer passive readers, they are interactive consumers. We know what is happening. Look at Instagram, look at Facebook. They are all interactive consumers of news who engage across multiple formats: text, videos, podcast, and social media. With shrinking attention spans, we all know that we all read news through reels. We all read news through Facebook, through Instagram, and it takes us 15 seconds, it takes us 20 seconds to absorb what is being shared. With shrinking attention spans, media organizations must adapt storytelling techniques without diluting depth or accuracy. The challenge is to balance brevity with substance so that information remains both accessible and enriching. Accountability, which is the most important factor. Accountability is twofold: to the audience and to democratic values. In today's fragmented media space, fact-checking, ethical reporting, and responsible commentary are not optional. In fact, they are imperatives. Establishing self-regulation mechanisms, transparent corrections, and open dialogue with audiences are ways to preserve media's moral authority. Last but not the least, collaboration is very, very important. The challenges of this digital age cannot be met in silos. Collaboration between traditional print, collaboration between emerging digital platforms, technology companies, and fact-checking institutions can create a healthier information system. Working together, we can counter fake news, promote digital literacy, and ensure that a plural and diverse media continues to serve as the conscience of society. Many of us over here are pre-Gen X, many are Gen X, Gen Y, but the latest, as you have seen what is happening in the subcontinent, we cannot ignore the Gen Z. I don't think so. They read the newspaper, the print newspaper nowadays, the Gen Z, it's all through digital platforms, whether it's IG, whether it's Facebook, whether it's X, but they are the people that we need to cater to, and this transition should be done properly and should be taken care of. Let us embrace technology, respect changing consumption habits, and remain steadfast in accountability. For it is the only way then that the media will continue as the beacon of trust that society desperately needs.
Our first recipient is a visionary who redefined journalism in Northeast India, Dr. Kamal Kumar Jhunjhunwala, an editor of Eastern Panorama. As the founder of Eastern Panorama, the first ever English monthly news magazine of the Northeast launched in 1992, Dr. Jhunjhunwala has chronicled the triumphs and trials of our region for 33 uninterrupted years. A scholar, author of 6 acclaimed books, and director of 102 documentary films for Doordarshan, his contributions extend beyond journalism to social initiatives through the Eastern Panorama Foundation, from being invited by former Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh to serving as National Vice President of Indian Federation of Small and Medium Newspapers. Dr. Jhunjhunwala's legacy is truly monumental. Let us give a resounding round of applause once again for Dr. Junjunwala's unparalleled contribution.
Next, we honor Shri John Wilson Thaba, a veteran journalist whose career spans over 3 decades. Starting as a reporter with the Shillong Times in 1992, he rose to serve as editor of Marpor Today and later as executive editor of Highland Post. His commitment to professional excellence is evident in his extensive training with prestigious institutions like the Thomson Foundation in UK, the Indian Institute of Mass Communication, New Delhi, and the Bureau of Parliamentary Studies and Training, Lok Sabha Secretariat. Shri Thaba's work also include impactful contributions to All India Radio Shillong, where he presented current affairs program. His dedication to covering the Northeast socio-political landscape has made him a respected voice in the region. Shri Thaba's work has been a beacon of credible journalism in Meghalaya. Ladies and gentlemen, please give him a big round of applause.
We now honor Sri Demaya Lang Siangshai, an editor of Marpor, who is a stalwart of Khasi journalism. Starting as a translator at U Nong Sain Hima in 1993, he joined Marpor in 1994 and has served as its editor since 1995. For early 3 decades, his leadership has elevated Marpor as a trusted voice in Khasi journalism, nurturing editorial standards and fostering a legacy of excellence. I would like to also mention that he is the current president of the Shillong Press Club. Let's give a resounding round of applause for Sri Siangshai's exemplary contributions.
Our next recipient, we will honor Shri Barnes Marbanyang, an assistant editor of Marpor, a dedicated journalist who began his journey in 1994 with Baru, a Khasi weekly, and soon joined Marpor, where he rose from reporter to assistant editor. His perseverance and commitment to Khasi journalism has made him a respected figure in the media fraternity, contributing significantly to the growth of regional language journalism. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give him a resounding round of applause. Thank you.
Next, we celebrate Sri Rajib Chaudhry, a managing editor, South Asia Views, a veteran journalist and a media trainer whose career began at the tender age of 17 in 1987, driven by a passion to uncover the untold stories of Meghalaya. With over 3.5 decades of experience, he has worked with prestigious national and international media houses, including Sahara TV, NewsX, Times Now, TRT World, BBC Bangla Service, and CNN. His contributions to Khasi media include serving as editorial consultant to Pynroh Cable News, the state's first news channel, and contributing to various Khasi newspapers. A recipient of the prestigious Panos South Asia Fellowship on HIV and AIDS in 2009, and a key speaker at an international conference in Brazil in 2005, Sri Chaudhry continues to elevate journalism through his training initiatives and dedication to bringing the Northeast to the national mainstream. A thunderous round of applause for Sri Chaudhry's outstanding contributions, please.
Our next recipient is Shri Starfing Jove Langpen Padakase, an editor of SB News Agency. He is a trailblazer in both print and digital journalism. Beginning his career in 1994 with Marpor Khasi Daily, he has served as a senior reporter, photojournalist, and editor across publications like Bupang Khasi Daily, Pynroh Khasi Daily, Dienjat Khasi Daily, and U Nong Sain Hima. His career also includes photojournalism with Eastern Projection and UB Photo in Guwahati. In 2009, he founded SP News Agency, launching the first bilingual Khasi language news portal in 2012 and a YouTube channel in 2025. As its proprietor and editor, based in Mausan Ram, with his innovative spirit, he continues to serve the people with dedication and also shape the media landscape in Meghalaya. A hearty round of applause again to Shri Starfing.
We now celebrate Sri Manoj Das, a correspondent of Times of India, a journalist whose passion for truth ignited in the mid-1990s when access to information was scarce in Meghalaya. From serving as executive editor of Afira English Daily to contributing to national dailies like the Times of India and working with the Sentinel, Assam Tribune and United News of India, Sri Das has tirelessly reported on the ground realities of Meghalaya's diverse communities. His role as the casual news editor at the All India Radio, Shillong, further underscores his commitment to public service. Let's applaud Sri Das for his dedication to authentic storytelling.
Finally, we recognize Sri Pawal D. Soklet, a graduate of St. Edmund's College, who joined Marpur Khasi Daily in 1994 as a reporter and retired in 2024 as joint editor. His contributions extend to Re-Khasi channel and Dudarshan Shillong, and in 2021, he launched his own YouTube channel, Usangat Uprta, amplifying Khasi voices in the digital age. May I also like to mention that he is also the sitting member of the current KHEDC.
A warm round of applause for Sri Soklet's inspiring journey, please. We will now proceed with the distribution of monthly special support to veteran journalists under the Meghalaya Journalist Welfare Scheme 2024, effective from May 2025 in honor of and recognition for their invaluable contributions to the field. May I request Sri Marcus M. Thayang, editor, UTIP, to please come to the stage and receive the check. Next, may I invite Srimati Patricia Mukim, editor, the Shillong Times, to please come to the stage and receive the honor. May I now invite Sri Philip Marway, editor, Youth Today, to please come to the stage and receive the honor. Ladies and gentlemen, Sri Philip Marway, editor, Youth Today. Next, may I invite Sri Francis Conrad, independent journalist, to please come and receive the honor. Sri Francis Conrad, please. Now may I invite Sri Rafael Wadri, producer, Media Plus, to kindly come and receive the honor. We have a recipient, Srimati Linda Chakchuak, independent journalist, but
we sometimes don't realize the kind of responsibility and power that we have. When I say we, I mean you, as journalists and as media people. And I think it's very important to be able to understand that responsibility and that power because it influences the way our society is, the way our state, the way the state's affairs are held or taken care of, and how we move forward or how we move backward. And therefore, I do start by reiterating the significance and the great importance of always realizing the responsibility that each and every one of you carries on your shoulder as a press person, as a journalist, as a person who is even a citizen journalist, and many, many areas of journalism and news reporting that today are, I should say, the definition is getting blurred, and there are too many categories, but the categories are also quite not defined very properly. So that's the first thing that I would like to stress on, and I'm sure that all of you realize that whenever you are working, and whenever you have, you're writing your piece, or whenever you're interacting. So that is the first and the most important part that I need to always remind you of, that you come with a lot of responsibility on your shoulder. I think the second thing which we have also realized as a government is that while the press and the press fraternity has been contributing immensely to our society, to the state, to the country, we realize that at some point in time, it's important to recognize this contribution that is being made. You know, I am always a very, very strong believer that it's not about what you give or about the amount that you give. But I think it is important that whoever the person in whatever walk of life, at some point in time expects that the person will be recognized in some way, will be appreciated for the work, the contribution that they have done. It's human nature. And in 2018, if some of you remember, this started with a thought process of actually for entrepreneurs. I started recognizing entrepreneurs. Those are the first group of people I started recognizing. And I truly felt that, you know, you need that recognition. And I'll tell you where this comes from. It comes from myself, actually. And I remember as a small entrepreneur when I was very young, I was struggling. And I really didn't know what to do, how to move about. So many areas of difficulty. And I sometimes just would wish that somebody would come and just give a pat on my back and say, don't worry, you're doing great. It's tough, but keep going. And I think even that small pat on the back would have motivated me so much, even through those difficult times, even if that I didn't get the money or any kind of support from the person. But I think recognition is very, very important. And that's why I thank, in fact, you know, the press fraternity. You have met me so many times and you have submitted so many memorandums to me. I'm so happy that we are finally able to give some structure to the memorandums that you have been submitting. I admit I could not do everything, but it is because of your intervention. Today we are having these programs to recognize senior journalists, people who have given their life for journalism, who have faced the challenges in difficult times with no financial support, and yet continued to do what they did because they believed in what they did, because they were passionate about what they did, and no challenge or no difficulty would bring them down. And that's really what we are trying to appreciate today by recognizing these senior journalists. And I think most of you I know, I've met so many times, and I've seen the challenges they've faced. And you know, I always tell people that God has been kind to all of us. God has been kind to me, has given me this opportunity, given Dr. Amperin, you know, Mr. Vijay, the opportunity to do something that we could make a difference. And so we are here today and happy that we are able to do some small bit of contribution. I was very happy when Dr. Vijay had come and given a proposal that the welfare scheme should be increased to 35 lakhs from 5 lakhs. And with that 35 lakhs, different ways to support senior journalists, after a certain retirement age could be achieved. And with that today, almost about 10,000 rupees per month is being given to some of our retired journalists on a regular basis. And I think that is maybe a small amount, but I'm sure it is helping in many ways for them to move forward. It's the least, as I said, that we can do in that line. Recognizing our senior journalists who have given their 30 years to journalism. Again, a small amount of 1 lakh, but I guess it's more about the recognition that we are trying to give out here. And I want to make it very clear. That I don't expect you to be soft on me because of that. So don't think that, I will expect that you do stop criticizing me today. Please don't. Please don't. You have a duty and a responsibility to do. And you're not here to please me or please the society or any individual person. You're here to serve the state and the people as a whole. You have a certain responsibility at your level, which you do. I think never have I ever called any of you for any article you've written against me or for me or pro me. I never call because I don't believe in it. I have a lot of friends who tell me, why don't you tell this person to stop writing like that? I said, it's not my job. And it's not fair for me to do that. And I will never do it. And so I'm repeating, just because I'm having these programs, please, you don't have to be soft on me. So you can do, but yeah, of course, we expect you to be fair, that's all. But I don't expect you to be soft. I expect that you will always bring out, I'll tell you many a times, the small messages I get, the small, articles I read, or some kind of, posts that are there. You may not believe this, but actually it helps me make very, very important decisions in life. And decisions that impact thousands and lakhs of people in our state. So therefore, it has that impact. Of course, I take it in a positive sense, and that's why I look at it that way. And I'm a person who always looks at any kind of criticism in a positive way and say, well, is there something wrong that I'm doing? Is there something that I can change? Is there something I can improve? And therefore, for me, I always look at it in a positive manner, and I hope that we will continue to do that in the future. Coming to the overall sector, the press, the media sector as a whole, I really would like to see, this is something I am addressing to our Honorable Minister and to the Honorable, our Commissioner Secretary and our Director, is that, I have been noticing that the different classifications and structuring of our media houses and the sector as a whole, this entire structure and lines are actually disappearing. Today there is a strong need for you to be able to define and structure and categorize our different journalists. Now, is a person who's a citizen journalist, is he or she the same as a journalist who has been, registered by the DIPR or by, the different agencies that you have? Is a person who blogs and a person who puts up, different YouTube channels, and as a personal YouTube channel, is she also a journalist? And should they be also registered? Because today they're getting news from us and they put up news in their own channel, but they don't have the responsibility that a press person, has to have. I know it's a very gray area, but I personally feel that we can start somewhere, by creating some kind of a mechanism for a registration process or a system where different people are, I shouldn't say monitored is a very bad word to use, but at least are listed and we know who's who, because every day somebody comes up. So I think people who are connected with news, I would request if you could work out a framework where we start to have some kind of a registration system for everybody who's linked with news, so that some kind of accountability and structuring can take place. I know it's not easy. Many people will not agree to it, but I feel you should start somewhere, because I think we need to start it, because if you don't, then I think things will be at a point where we really would not know between, it's already there, but we would not know difference between a WhatsApp message and an article written in some very, very prestigious newspaper, and the lines will disappear and everything will become the same. And I hope that phase doesn't happen, and for that I think proper policy and structure is required. And I think this is something only if the stakeholders work together with the DIPR, we can actually come to some kind of a conclusion in that aspect. Second, which I am in real favor of, and I've been talking about this to our DIPR team, is that I'm very keen to see that our journalism and our press fraternity members should have some kind of a training or human resource development program. You see, I mean, journalism is a serious work. Again, I go back to what I said in the beginning. It's a huge responsibility. And therefore, how you will take that responsibility further requires you to be updated all the time. It requires you to be trained by the best people, trained in understanding that what word you use could have what kind of impact, how you want to use the word, what kind of a timing you want to bring it out in, do you want to bring out this article or not? There's so many factors that are there in journalism which even I guess I'm not competent enough to share or even talk about. But it is a huge responsibility, and I feel that our journalists and our press people who are very good at their own level, have learned things at their own level, on their own, with their own experience, with their own work that they're doing. I think we need to figure out how we could upgrade. Can we take our journalists in batches of 10, 15 to some prestigious university, college that teaches this, have a 10-day, 15-day, 20-day program? Can we have meets? If there is a press meet going on, like we have today out here, we call journalists from outside. Why can't we send our journalists when they're having press meets to other parts of the country or even the world? I think this exposure is very important, and I'm always a very firm, again, strong believer that we must upgrade every time as individuals, also in terms of our skill. So I would like to see that apart from the policy of structuring our different our journalists and our press fraternity members, I would like to see a training module, training program, something that is again structured, not an ad hoc basis, but something that is more structured should come up. That's something that I would like to see. I would also, third thing, would like to stress on is that while we do the training, I feel that we should do a lot of training on technology also. So what CS was mentioning, that we need to train our journalists on technology, on the use of basic technology, on the use of software, on the use of AI. I think it is important that and I'll tell you, if we can do this, we will be the pioneers, I would say, and I would not be wrong in saying this, in at least the Northeast region, if not in the whole country, to take this forward. And I think this would be a great way to really separate us from the rest and show that how we are really, looking at improving the overall, aspect of media, journalism and press. And I think this is something that I would really like to see. So therefore, technology is something that I would like to see incorporated, and would like to see that our journalists and our press fraternity members would be trained in different aspects of social media as well as in terms of technology. And also I would like to share that I hope you know that government is promoting entrepreneurship. What you do is a form of entrepreneurship. You see, it's a business in one sense also, obviously, because you need the money, the revenue to run. Now, we have a program called CM Elevate, and I have been funding many businesses through CM Elevate, whether it's a fitness center, whether it's a music center, whether it's vehicles, whether it's a gym, whether it's a swimming pool, whether people want to open up different tourist lodge. We have been funding, almost 3,000 people have benefited from CM Elevate. I would like to see that our press fraternity also should benefit from the CM Elevate program. So therefore, I would be happy. I'm not saying I can do everything for you, but I would open up the CM Elevate portal even for our journalist fraternity, our press fraternity, so that you can take advantage of this say somebody would like to set up a studio, the funds can be supported. We don't give 100% subsidy, but we give around 35% to about 50% subsidy. Then you take a loan component is there, and obviously there's some contribution from your side. So it's a very nice balanced package that we make to promote entrepreneurship. Then the same model or the same scheme could be replicated in the press also. So I would like to request Commissioner Secretary, if you could speak to the Prime team and the Planning Department to ensure that we are able to include journalism and press and media and studios. I really would like to see more and more studios come in. I would like to see more support for printing presses. We have a lot of need for printing press, and so many things are happening, all over the place. So all these things can be looked into. So I'm not saying we can do it for everyone. So don't say, oh, I didn't get it and all that. So we cannot do everything for everyone. But I think as a sector, we would like to see that we are able to support even our press fraternity in the future in much more bigger sense. So once again, I really would like to congratulate our senior journalists who have today been recognized, and the little support that we could give from our side to you. It is nothing. But I think, as I repeat myself, it is just a pat on the back and to tell you that we are really happy to see what you have done for the state as well as for the media and the press as a whole. And your contributions have been immense. And it is only fair that the government should recognize each and every one of you. So I would request, let's give another round of applause to our senior journalists who deserve this simple recognition, and I hope that this will motivate them further to continue the work and not just simply, rest, but continue the work that they've been doing. At the same time, I would once again thank our different resource people who have come from other parts of the country to be here. And I was told that there were some workshops that were organized. I would like to see more of these workshops being organized. This is a great thing. This is how we ensure that we learn from each other and how we motivate each other. So I'm really happy that you have done this. And I would like to see that, even though we may not have a media meet every time, but once in 6 months, once in 3 months, you can have a training model, as I said, and have this all the time. So thank you all for coming here and taking your time out. And once again, I thank all the senior participants who are here, who have made this program a great success, and thank the Minister and the DIPR for the wonderful work that they're doing. I hope that this particular relationship, I won't call it partnership because it really means then something else. So this relationship that we have will positively go forward, where we see that how we can work together for the overall larger interest and address concerns of our press fraternity, and also look at how we can grow and improve the overall sector as we move along.